ready for two wild guys throwing out spicy ideals on fantasy football. Welcome back to the Dynasty Football Maniacs. Trust at your own risk.
Brought up in my league every year. We put it up every year, and they only changed it once. And since they changed it, I think they'll change it again because this year is so giving. I mean,
I have a feeling though. I have a feeling if we do change it, the NFL is going to go back to the we're going to be uptight Nick Gritty on it, and
oh,
then
you
we're going to
know
have
it.
to take a vote and open it again next year.
You know it will be. I mean,
Like it's like a revolving door. So
yeah. I mean, it's so crazy about the NFL how they changed that rule. I think what in 2000 and what was it 2019 or 20 we added that bonus to your league, and
it
since
was
then
it
I
was
think
2019 because I remember it was the year before COVID. But then after COVID, when the ruling changed, we actually voted it to bump down a
yeah
couple
because
of
it
points.
increased it a little bit.
They increased it because of the ruling, so there we had to vote it, and it was voted to bring it down some. So
Yeah. And then the next time it was so low it didn't even really matter. No one even wanted to pick up a punt returner because
I think at that point everybody just got tired of fucking dealing with it. I think at
uh
that point they were like, you know what, I don't care.
yeah. And
So
I think that's how my league is now. I think they quit asking because it's been voted on so many times. And right now I don't think we're at that high of a number. Um I looked at it like the score for Turpin this week was 32, which is pretty high, but then I looked at last year's season. Only 5 times did he ever hit that many yards, above that many yards to score that again. So most of the time he stayed below that, and he had like half that yard. So he ended up only scoring half that score, pretty much majority. And then on top of that, he had 3 games or 2 games with zeros. And that's the thing with punt returners. You There's going to be times, especially if they don't play a position, something happens where they're not punt returning the ball, or they don't decide they're not going to kick it in returns, and then these guys don't even get a bonus. It's just something. I mean, it's .2 a point, .4 a point. I know it's a big deal. It could change a game, but the funny thing is I looked through my leagues. Only one player, I think, played Turpin. One team. I can't
I
remember what league
mean,
it was. I'd have to go back and look again. But I was like, out of all them leagues, even the league that had it at like 32, and I know the guy that has him in that league, and he said the reason why he won't play him regularly is he got out of that habit because every time he played him regularly, he didn't score like he did the days he didn't play him. So he only played him when he needed him, like when his wide receiver was out. That was why he had Turpin
right.
because he couldn't get another wide receiver to supplement his wide receiver. So he went with that punt return bonus, and even though he could end up rolling the dice, getting 15 points, or he could walk away with 32 points, or he can get a zero. Where well, even nowadays I've seen some wide receivers get zero. So I mean it could go either way. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let the show roll with that little ending part of the segment and let everybody know we were talking about punt return uh, bonuses.
That's fine.
But I mean, some leagues don't even have it. Some have tight end bonuses. I like the tight end bonus. Our league has a tight end bonus. I believe your league has a tight end bonus. Ain't it 1.5 for your tight end too?
I'll go double check, but we do have a tight end bonus on there.
Yeah, I know in my league it's a 1.5 for every reception. Um,
Yeah, I
I
think
wouldn't
it's
do the yards because it'd get crazy. How
no. Let's. I'll tell you here in a minute.
about that guy slapping Kelsey around a little bit? Does he deserve it?
Yeah, so actually in my league we actually have it 1 point,
Oh, you
like
have
a
a
one
full
point bonus. Yeah.
yeah. So it's 2 points for every time you get a reception. Where in my league
See
you only get 1.5.
see because I remember we talked about it and voted for 1 point
Yep.
because we have a reception bonus for running backs and wide receivers, but it's only a .5 because they get the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
But for tight ends, we just went with a whole point just due to the fact that
Oh,
it's tight ends.
I forgot your league had that bonus, but you also have the negative bonuses too, don't you? Like if
I
they
do.
drop.
Hmm.
Yeah, see that kind of balances it all out.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, if
have.
you get a guy that drops the ball 6 times, like CD, he didn't drop it 6 times, guys. That was an exaggeration. I apologize for lying.
It was
Uh,
4.
Okay, I was close,
Yeah, you were close, but I mean,
but at least he
for him,
didn't.
for
He
him
didn't
to
throw. Go
for
ahead.
him to drop it, he was actually the best receiver in the whole game, surprisingly.
Well, I don't know.
Statistically wise.
Turbin made both of his catches.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about statistically. He had 7 catches for 110 yards.
Yeah. Well, he had 2 for what? 30.
Okay, yeah, so therefore CD was better, even with the drops. But yeah, we have every time if they don't catch it, it's a minus a half a point as well. So it kind of counteracts with each other. So it balances itself out at the end of the day.
I know I told you guys last week we'll probably release during the week. We're not sure if we're going to be able to do that due to our schedules. So we decided we're going to keep going on the weekend until we can figure everything out. And we're going to do these little segments where they're a little pre-advanced, but not too far pre-advanced, and still give you guys what we think will be best for week 1 and week 2, even though it's a little bit ahead of the game. A lot of the football hasn't even finished this week. That's fine. We got a little bit of taste of it. The Chargers in Kansas City, and then the Dallas and Philly game. I mean, I think that was pretty good excitement. I can't wait till Sunday and watch some more games. Hopefully, I will try. Maybe we'll try to do like a release there of the week to recap what we predicted for week 1. If we don't, we'll definitely cover it in our next episode next weekend. But right now, we're going to give you guys an oversight of what we think is our top 5, top 6 players, and who we think going into week 2 you might want to stay away from. And we know it's a little pre-early, but I believe we do our homework good enough to know who's going to do what and where they're going to give you. And I'm going to lean a little bit more today towards defensive players than offensive players. I wanted to give a little love this week to them.
That's
Uh,
fine because then I was gonna switch to more of the offense since I went more defense last time, so it's gonna work itself out.
and I'm not as I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to football smartness and knowing the things that are going on in the world, uh, Austin over there, he keeps up with it pretty tight. I mean, you put him in a quiz bowl, we're gonna win. Uh, I'm good with historical, statistic, mathematical stuff, and I do pretty good at judging like statistically. So a lot of my information I give is based on what I think statistically is going to happen, and I do pretty good at doing it that way. And I also follow my favorites, so you'll see that. But it's just part of football. I think college has definitely given us a little bit of good taste of football too. As I want to, there's a lot I want to cover on that on college. Oh God, I get so mad sometimes when I hear interviews. I'm like, I cannot. I'm not going to call no names out, but I'm just going to say it right now, right here. Let's quit complaining about Ohio State's NIL. That ain't the change point. Never has been the change point. They ain't even number 1 in it. But
Right?
who's the
Who's
people?
who's been complaining about that?
The people that says I wear underwear in my basement, which is fine. I do. Uh, and I'm not. Well, maybe I am filming. Uh, but whatever. It's just when you hear that in an interview saying, "Oh, it's the disadvantage because the NIL deal is so great in this," and I'm like, I love this guy too. I really do as a coach, as a person. I think
What?
he's great, but I think he overstates it sometimes, and people don't understand it. And maybe I don't understand what he's saying, but I don't think it's because the NIL. The NIL balances it out in football, guys. It does. And if you don't believe it, if you go to an NCAA site, you can see how balanced that money is being balanced out. The problem is you've got teams out there, and I'm not going to call them teams out, but they're the ones that are not succeeding right now.
I will.
They
Cause
focus on 1 or 2 players and they pay them all the money.
so let me ask you this. So I think what now when it comes to the rich schools, yes, it's balanced because they can throw money out.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe though that the the college league needs to have a salary cap, kind
And
of like how the NFL does, and it's more because it's honestly to make it more fair for, your lower schools, because they only have so much of a budget, and there's different ways you can go about that. But either way, but my real question was, I mean, they keep bringing up the Ohio State NIL deals or whatever, but doesn't if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Oregon have more in NIL than any other school at this time right now, or is that Ole Miss?
Actually, it's Texas, and in right
Okay.
this year it is Ohio State is 2 this year. Okay, last year Ohio State was 3. The teams that were ahead of them was Texas and LSU. Oregon has the money, but so does Texas, and so does Ohio State to give more, but they don't.
The reason why in all honesty, I think in order for everybody to quit this moaning and groaning about school, this one school paying all this and this, they need to just implement a salary cap. That way, there could be no excuses for anybody at all whatsoever, because everybody will be under a salary cap. So then these people can't say, "Oh well, Ohio State went blah 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 this," or
And
Texas went blah 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 that, or this went that with this that. So if we can
I do agree.
if we can implement a salary cap, then we don't have to hear about this crap anymore.
Hey, you guys can check me out there, fact check me all you want, but I might be a little bit. I'm not going to bring it up because I already got all the stuff I want up in front of me, and I didn't bring this up. But if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to undercut it because I think it's actually more schools than that are over the 15 million mark. But really, honestly, I don't think it falls off between schools. If I remember correctly when I counted it, I'm thinking there's almost like 40 colleges out there within that range that could stay above that group of money. That's crazy. Okay. That's telling me there's 40 schools out there that can gather that money and might only be 1 or 2 million off from Ohio State. That's crazy. And then they're going to complain that Ohio State's paying too much money in NIL deal. I also look at it like this. I do agree everything with Austin saying the cap of the players, but I think the players should be equally paid, not equally paid as position. I understand a quarterback's going to make more than an offensive lineman, or a running back's going to make more than a tight end sometimes, or a tight end might make more than a wide. Everything's dependent on your contribution to the team. Should be a certain, like, you have a group of money you're put together. This is what you can do for your team.
It's
And
just
in
like
that
the
group of
NFL.
money, you need to divide it up among the team. If you're playing as a starter, you deserve something, even if it's a measly $5,000 or
It's,
whatever. I don't know what it is.
it's just like the NFL. They have a salary cap. Now, don't fact check me because I'm just estimating this, and I'm not going to look it up either. But this past year, they were like around 250 million or
Yeah, it's
250
crazy.
million, something like that. So you know what? That's what you do for the college too. You set a boundary. Say, hey, all the schools that all the schools you get 200 million. You take that 200 million, you do whatever with it,
Yeah,
but you can't go over that. You have to stay within that limit. And then
yeah.
and might as well go ahead and do it because all these colleges now are actually hiring general managers. I mean, Andrew Luck. We just saw it on game day. Andrew Luck is the general manager for Stanford.
Hey, and I think it makes sense because it's a
So,
business. And
so
and then these people that said that,
exactly,
go ahead.
that's the reason why college foot people need to just get over the fact of the old tradition shit's over with.
It's not
It's
fair that these schools are making that much money and these kids get nothing.
it's
Some of these
it's
kids don't even get an NFL career later on in life, but they're a
it's
star in college.
it's the old traditions of how it used to be. The shit's over with. It's done. This
Yep,
is a new age and day. Everyone's getting general managers. It's a business. You are here to win, and you're going to do anything you can to win. So therefore, slap a salary cap on it, and then go within your boundaries and go win.
yep,
Plain and simple. Then you ain't got to hear all these other people whine and complain about, oh, this school pays so much. Oh, this school pays so much. Well, you know what? Maybe your school should just figure a way out to raise more money.
yep. And then when you do it, you don't think about, oh, I got a quarterback. I need to pay $8 million. Let me tell you something. You need to have a cap on that team. That player gets his cap. Now, if he's able to sell his name outside of the school a little bit more, that's not counted with how he plays at the school, That's his business. If I get on the Wheaties box because I am Bryce Young, which I'm not, because he's a lot better looking, probably a lot stronger looking than I am. But I'm just saying, if I'm him, which he was, he got a lot of money for Dr. Pepper, I think it was, but he deserved it. He had the name, he had the reputation, and whatever other contributions he got outside of that, great and dandy. I love the idea that the schools are going to be paying the kids, but I think they need to get it. And I don't think it should be a school. Like I hear this thing, oh, they're getting a scholarship. So what? I mean, that's great that they're getting a scholarship. That's great they're getting an education. That's wonderful. But some of them players never make it past that point, and some of them get severely hurt in that process and have nothing on it. Imagine if you're 18 years old and I blow out a knee on my final game in my college day. Now I'm not going to the NFL. And I was projected to be high and I would have probably made some money. I have nothing to show for it, just a college degree, which is great. Most kids don't even get that, but there's a lot of kids that do. Doesn't mean he's going to be successful. I'm just saying that's a hard, tough sport. They deserve what they get. Any of the sports. I mean, it's across the board now. I mean, you got gymnastic people out there making top NIL money. You got basketball players making NIL money. You got baseball players making NIL money. Yes, football does bring in the most revenue currently. And I just think I like the idea that they'll sooner or later get to a balance. I don't want to hear these news stations cry about something that ain't true and make it a narrative that ain't a fact. It's not a fact by any means. And if you think it's a fact, you're misleading the public, because that same school you're complaining about, you're only paying $2 million less. So it doesn't matter. And you can't even win a game.
Well,
You did win one today. But.
That's why I normally just try to stay away from them, because a lot of times I don't like their outtakes and stuff on it, but to each their own.
Yeah, to each their own. So let's get back to the real thing. We're here about fantasy. This is what the show's based on. Dynasty. Love football. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know we did some predictions. I'm not going to really go over what we did last week. Like I said, we'll get a chance to recap everything we did last week. This week, we're going to focus on my top 5 players first. And then the reason why I'm going to do mine first, because this knowledgeable guy to my right, left, whatever he is on the screen to you, I don't know where my head is. He could just change at a whim. Me, I have to detail, write stuff out, and do my studies and prepare. I know he prepares, but he prepares differently. You know how the guy in high school has to study every night, get his stuff right? I'm that guy. And then you got the guy over there. He wakes up and he just remembers everything. Okay? There's a different class of people. At least I'm there in my life that I know that. So I'm fine with it. And this way he knows who I'm talking about, so he can swap up. He's already got several lists going. Me, I'm going to start off with my defensive players and go into my little offensive skitter scatters I got in here.
Let's do it.
All right. So going into week 2, I'm going to start off with he's a DL/LB in sleeper.
Okay.
And he does focus mainly on defensive linemen, but he does get caught out on the edge of the linebacker, and that's Nick Bonito for Denver.
Oh, I like that one.
Okay, so for week 2, he's already projected to be number 2 guy for DL, at least. I don't think he's projected for number 2 for LB. I think he was a little bit lower. I didn't check that projection. I'm apologizing right now, but that's fine. They're
right
going to be
now
playing at Indianapolis.
Right now, just to give you an update on that real quick. Right now, he's listed as on our lads. He's listed as a DL, like the first string DL. So I think they might. Obviously it depends on what scheme they run, mostly. But it looks like they're running a 3-4 defense. So they're definitely going to be using him on the edge a lot. So there you go. Just help you out there.
Oh yeah, 3-4. Yeah, definitely be on the edge. So they have him projected for 1565 for week 2 against Indianapolis at Indianapolis. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yes, he's going to finish in the top 3. Yes, you need to start him, and yes, he will have plus 20 in a PPR. He's not going to score 15, guys. This guy is not that guy. This is a defensive guy. I'm telling you, he's the man. He's going to go out there. He's going to get his tackles. He's going to get his tackles per loss. He's going to get a sack or 2. He's that guy. So, honestly, I'm hyped up on him this year. I was hyped up on him a little bit last year. He did well last year, but I think this year, I think he's really going to show out. And the guy I'm going to go in next after him is a little bit more senior to him, and that's Robert Spillin. I think a lot of people think he's done fallen off the radar. He went to New England, left the Raiders. Last year, he steadily stayed in the top 3, top 5 through the whole year. Week 2, he's projected to be number 9. They got him projected at 16.29 because that's for linebackers, not DLs. DLs usually score lower than linebackers. They're going to be playing at Miami now, down in Miami. But that's not going to bother old man Robert. Robert's going to be ready. He's going to be focused, and New England's going to come out with a whole new start, and he's going to be the leader of the pack. He's going to form that defense, and he's going to rise that defense up, and you're going to watch him score over 20 points, and I guarantee you he'll be in the top 3 that week, and you should not be sitting him on your bench. He should be in your IDP flex or as your lead linebacker. You should not sleep on this guy. Doesn't matter if he's in the league 7, 8 years. This guy is, like, hands down one of the best. Then that goes into my next linebacker. And this will be my last defensive player I talk about. And he's another linebacker I'm going to talk about. And that's from Houston, E.J. Speed. I believe he'll finish in the top 5. I'm not going to put him in the top 3 category.
How dare you?
Huh?
So how dare you take my player again?
Oh, I've been watching Speed. Not that I'm on Speed, but I'm watching Speed. Look, he's going to score over 20 points, guys. No hands down, no question about it. He's only projected currently as 11. 11. If you sleep on him, that's your mistake. He's not going to be 11 at the end of the week, okay? I don't think he'll be even 11 week 1. The man's just a powerhouse. And Houston has got a good defense, guys, and E.J. Speed is one of them guys. All right, now I'm going to probably steal a few of his offensive players, but that's okay because that guy on the other side loves me. He's going to be fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I got is the guy I hyped up last week. I'm going to hype him up again because you guys just don't know what treat you're fixing to get. He's only projected to finish 20. Yes, they have him projected to finish 20. He's a running back out of New England. I'm telling you, Trevion Henderson's a real deal. He's the sleeper of the sleepers, and he is coming out with a bang, and he will finish in the top 5 as running backs. And a lot of it, I give it top 5 for that week is for the fact that they are going to Miami, and I think it's going to be a little bit more on New England, but I still think he's going to be an outstanding player. He's going to score way above 20 points because anybody in the top 5 running backs are going to have over 20 points. And he's only projected to score 13.5. He's going to be your lead back for New England when it all comes down to it. And I don't see anybody saying anything different. And I think he's going to get a little punt return action maybe. And if he does, all that's going to do for them leagues that have, like what we were talking about earlier in the show, punt return bonuses, this guy's going to be scoring. Hey, guys, you might want to relook at your scoring. It's going to be 60, 70 points. But, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to get that much action on both sides of the ball like that. My next guy, and I actually went a little over this time, but that's fine. My next guy is Brian Thomas from Jacksonville, wide receiver, playing at Cincinnati. He's going to finish in top 3. If not, he will be the number 1 finisher for week 2. I'm actually going to say right now, I am telling you, this guy will be number 1 week 2. And they have him projected to score 19.32. Oh, no. Oh, no. As long as Brian Thomas stays healthy and he gets the touches of the ball and you got Travis Hunter on the other side, this guy is going to do ridiculously at Cincinnati. This guy is going to give Jamar Chase and T. Higgins run for their money. It's going to take both of them to catch up to him.
Well, because the Bengals defense also, as projected, is projected to still be terrible.
Well, yeah, they are terrible. So that's why I'm saying he's going to have such a banged out day. Other than that, I love everything else on the Bengals. Cincinnati's a great team on one side of the ball. The other side of the ball, even with Trey Higgerson, there's a lot of things going on. All right. So now I threw a special in there because we kind of talked about this. I think we talked about this guy like week 1. I couldn't find my own notes. I'm going to look it up, but I'm just going to touch on it. I'm telling you guys, there's a sleeper out there. He's the Elderman. Don't sleep on him no more. We've seen what happened. We got that touch. And I don't think that touch is going away because I think two guys just connected again. And they're going to be together for a while. And I think Keenan Allen's going to be just fine. He's not going to score. Like, I'm not projecting him to be top 3 now. I'm saying he will finish in the top 20. They got him projected only 7.36. That's not going to happen. He's going to get over 15 plus points in fantasy. He's projected to finish 61. That's not going to happen. We're going to get him up there in 20. And just to give you an example, this week, he was projected only 8.8 points. He scored 19.8. That's 11 difference. And it's not a fluke. I seen it. I seen that connection. I felt the connection even through the screen. I said, Justin Herbert seen his guy again. It was like, I missed you for a whole year. I'm not taking nothing away from Lad McConkey's going to be great with them, and they're going to do great. But I think with them 2 wide receivers, I would be scared of the Chargers. They got something going on. I mean, and Omar Hampton's just got a little bit more training, a little bit more work. We know that Najee Harris is not a back to even think about. And it hurt my feelings because I had him on a team and I thought, oh, wow. But I was smart enough to put him on the bench. I benched Najee Harris in one of my leagues. Yes, I did. And it was smart. Good job. But one good job I did. I rang bells. I ran through the house. And I'm going to just leave it at that because then it's going too far for the public to know. And then the player that you should stay away from. I had a list of players to stay away from. Run like hell, I say. But I'm not going to tell you that right now. I'm going to just tell you this. If you can, and this is not a knock to any team. I'm not trying to knock any of this. This goes back for history. This is statistics. This is me talking, and you can take it for whatever grain of salt. Stay away from George Pickens. Don't rely on him. He's not your guy. If you have to play him in a flex, play him in a flex. He's as good as a backup. He's not going to be Dallas's savior. He's never going to be better than CeeDee Lamb. He's not even going to be probably better than Turpin. I'm not saying that as being mean, but we have a history already. And when he came out that first day, he showed the same thing he showed before. Just like there's a reason why Pittsburgh said, hey, I'm done with Najee and I'm done with George Pickens. There's a reason why. All right. Steelers make a winning team, a winning 500 team. They might not have been able to pull it through the playoffs, but they know their players. And when they let it go of a player, it's history over history. When they usually let go of a player, there's a reason. Either he's a bad attitude or he just had to fell off completely. They don't let go of stuff. They're like, what do you call them, a scavenger? They pick up something and leave it in their shed forever. And they never get rid of it. Yeah. So there you go. I'm not being mean to Pittsburgh. I'm not saying y'all are hoarders. I'm just saying you just know when to let trash go. And I didn't say he was trash. I didn't mean it like that either. He's a great person and great for him. He made it to the NFL. But I'm saying in a fantasy league, don't rely on him. Don't make him your wide receiver 1. Be smarter than that. I don't think he will even break 10 points in week 2. And in week 1, he only scored 6. And that's 7.15% different, 7.15 points difference than what he was projected. And he's projected to finish 22. He won't even finish above 40. Okay, guys? Not even in week 2 will he finish above 40. He didn't even finish it when the whole football weekend's over and we do a recap for week 1. He won't even be close to top 40. Okay? He only scored 6 points. He's in wide receiver. What is that called? Backup room, locker room. Should have been carrying the towels, but he's there. Yeah, I would just stay away from him. And I promise next week, I'm going to let you guys know, I was mean. I had another wide receiver I wanted to say with that, but I decided to pick the team that wasn't my favorite team. And I figured if that player did it again next week, I'd have to talk bad about him. And if you guys don't know I'm an Eagles fan, you should know this. Because there is a player on the Eagles I have a lot to bet about, but I kept my mouth shut. But I'm telling you, you got one more week to prove yourself, and then I'm going to have to slice you up like I did George Pickens. That's all I got to say. I'm going to leave it at that. I won't even give you a name. And I know this guy over there knows what I'm talking about. But I'm just not going to say it because maybe he has it on his list. I'm at least giving him the dignity to bring it up and say, don't play this guy. I was like horrified. But then it is a wish-a-wash thing with a wide receiver. You could have a real bad week and it come out bombing. But if you know Pickens' history, that's not going to happen. And if you know CD Lamb's history, that's not going to happen. And I'm just going to be just straight up. So I know I rambled through really quick, probably went too fast. You probably had to get an interpreter to slow me down or probably slow wind it. I threw a lot of information at you guys for week 2. I hope you're excited. I think I'm excited. I like this new format we're going to do. I like it better. I like sitting here picking out 5, 6, 7 players to talk about and give you guys what I think is good for your fantasy team. Just be smart like I was. Pay attention. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sitting Christian McCaffrey and I'm gambling it because in the league that I'm sitting him in and I have him in is called an elimination league. And I don't want to be eliminated the first week. I mean, I just have this bad feeling. Yeah, they say he's ready to go. One play is not good enough in that league. So I had to start another running back over him. Thank God I had something on my bench. I could do that. Even if he plays, it's fine because if I'm not the dead last guy scoring, I still stay in. And then hopefully, if he gets any worse this year, I'll have to find something to replace him. Horrible draft pick. I don't know what I was thinking. I had this dream in my head that he was going to bounce back and no injuries were going to occur. But that dream slowly faded. I think not yesterday, not the day before, but the first time they said he wasn't at practice. And then I was thinking, and I should have knew when he showed up at practice in a wheelchair, probably wasn't going to happen. But that never happened either. That's sarcasm. All right, guys, because I don't know how many of you guys will take me serious and how many won't. So I'm going to turn this over now to Austin and let him go through his players and tell me what he thinks. And if he has any comments about what I just said, you're more than welcome to say, my God, stop.
Well, I think. I mean, I agree with the George Pickens one. I mean, CD is gonna be CD, so he's gonna be the number one target in that offense. So honestly, you're just wasting your time. But Christian McCaffrey, that I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that headache. So, but anyways, all right, I'm gonna get to my list now, and this one is the result of Friday night's game that I think will probably be relevant again because I mean, who else is he gonna throw it to? And it's Hollywood Brown because I have him because for one, Rasheed Rice, he's got that now 5 game suspension now after last night's game. And then Xavier Worthy got hurt after Travis Kelsey took him out because Patrick Mahomes needed a sacrifice. That way they can make it to the Super Bowl again. Um, so once Xavier Worthy went out, Hollywood Brown was targeted 16 times throughout that game. So if Xavier Worthy is out again, which I think he probably will. And I know they're going up against Philly. I get it. But, I mean, Patrick Mahomes has still got to throw it to somebody, regardless of what defense it is. And I don't really see their run game getting off either. So I think Hollywood Brown I think he's a great flex, possibly low end wide receiver 2 spot for next week, because of all of what the wide receiver room looks like. Even with Travis Kelsey, he did not impress. Yeah, I think we're getting to the point where the age is starting to take effect. So yeah, I hope starting off with a Hollywood Brown. So then this is crazy, but this is on defense side. But I'm gonna stick with the same team, but he just looked really good. But I'm going to go with the defensive back, Shamira Connor, for the Chiefs. He had he played outstandingly well. He had a forced fumble. He had 9 tackles. He had a total of 9 tackles because he had 2 assists and 7 solo tackles. So I say play him again because uh, he's going to be up in the box because we saw what Philly's style is going to be like, and it's going to be we're going to run the ball first, and then if we need to, we're going to throw. We're going to run with Saquon, and then we're going to run with Jalen Hurts, And then if we need to throw it, then we'll throw it. So I do believe that he is going to make another impact again next coming week. So definitely, I would definitely put him in your starting lineup, unless you got somebody better. But right now, I mean, he looked pretty good last night. So, um, I am going to
So did they play Jaden Hicks alongside him, or he played
uh
over Jaden Hicks, didn't he?
well, Jaden Hicks was on the opposite side of Connor.
Oh, so they played two safeties. Okay.
Yeah, he was on the opposite side. So then, but the Chargers went on Connor's side more because they were running towards that side because the corners was weak on that side, but Connor was the strong point there. So that's the reason why he led the team in tackles last night.
Yeah,
So
you got a
now,
Christian Fulton over there. I see what you're talking about.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
right. So that's why I could see them doing great again because I could see Philly attacking him on that side, especially if AJ Brown is on that side, which also scares me, but that's a different conversation. Um, let's see. All right. So my next one, and um, I think we should actually start Tedero McMillan because they will be going up against Arizona, and right now I know we still got to play week one, but right now they're projected to have the 32nd worst defense in the league right now. So I believe that's just going to be great pickings for him. He is their number one target, and he will be probably their first look as well. Especially what I saw in the preseason, he was like their first read whenever Bryce Young was throwing the ball. So
You're
I
gonna
would
got. Can I
go
ask you a
ahead.
quick question? I
Yeah,
know
go
I
ahead.
you didn't ask me a question. I apologize, but I'm just curious what you think about that because next week he's going against Arizona's defensive back. You got Bubba Baker out there. I mean, wouldn't you be a little bit afraid of that?
Yeah. No. I mean, sure, I would be, but at the same time, I'm not because due to the fact that you know you still have a tight end, this Satavius Sanders, who is, I believe, is going to upgrade from last year. I think he's going to do better. And then you still, I believe, you also still have to worry about, I think, Xavier Leggett, since Jalen Coker is put on IR. I think Xavier Leggett's going to have a bigger role when Jalen Coker is on IR. So therefore, even if they do, even if he does blanket Tedero, he can't blanket Tedero McMillan the whole time because you know Buda Baker is going to be roaming around everywhere. It ain't just going to be on him. They like move him and spot. They actually sent him to go to blitzes as well. So you're going to see him sometimes in the backfield as well. So I'm not too worried about that because depending on where he lines up, and plus, you got Chuba Hubbard too. He's going to be coming up and tackling Chuba Hubbard as well. So it's like, do I run up and tackle Chuba Hubbard or do I go with Tedero McMillan?
Yeah, and he
There's going to be at least a couple different options that he has to choose from, and he can't choose. He's going to choose a lot of them, right? But Tedero McMillan is still going to get open. They're going to find ways to get him open. So that's the reason why I'm not worried. I am okay with starting him because I think it's just a good matchup until I am proven otherwise if
yeah.
the Arizona defense actually upgraded or not.
Yeah, and let the folks know a little bit more about Carolina. They did let Adam Thielen go, but that's fine. They had a plan. But then Jalen Coker got hurt. Then they
Mm-hmm.
brought in Hunter Renfro to kind of fill in that slot. Now, Hunter Renfro's nothing to joke around with. Yeah, he's a veteran. Yeah, he's getting to the end of his time. But veterans with rookies help. And he's one of them veterans that can teach. And it would be nice. He's just as good as Adam as a veteran, as a teacher. So I can see what Austin's talking about with McMillan. improving. You might even see a little bit of improvement out of Xavier Liggett, and then you also got to worry about the other back, Rico Dowell. I mean, he's there too with Chubbert Hubbard. So now they got that swap out, and they're both good receiver backs. So yeah, I could see all that.
All right. So for my next one, I'm gonna go with a tight end, and I'm gonna go with this might surprise you, but I'm gonna go with Theo Johnson
Ooh, that is a
because,
surprise.
because for one, they're going up against Dallas, and as we saw Thursday night, we we blanketed AJ Brown, and he did catch one catch, but that was it. Then Devontae Smith, he got 3 targets, so he was a little bit into it, but not like he usually is. So it was mainly Jahan Dotson and then, Dallas Goddard in the passing game for most of the Eagles. So I believe that this will be a great opportunity for Theo Johnson because we're weak in the middle. So they can do the short, immediate routes, and Theo Johnson can be a PPR machine. And regardless, because and Russell Wilson, he's got he's gonna have some time so he can throw the ball to whoever. But I know Malik Neighbors will be the number one target, but other than that, I'm not really confident in anybody else in that receiving core. So Theo Johnson would be my next guess for their have the major target shares in that offense. So that's why I'm definitely gonna go with Theo Johnson to go up against that matchup.
Oh, I like that.
And now, for my last one, I'm gonna go with Adrian Cooper, the linebacker out of the Green Bay. Yes, they're going up against Washington, but that just means there's just more opportunities for him to get to rack up on tackles because, as we know, Jaden Daniels, they're gonna throw. They're gonna take some chances, but with this defense, I can see them, especially with Micah. They're gonna try now being on the Packers. Their defensive line has just improved significantly. So therefore, uh, if I think they're gonna do what they think they're gonna do, they're gonna have to have a spy for Jaden Daniels to make sure he don't run around. So that would be basically Adrian Cooper's job. So there's opportunities for sacks in that department if he plays it right, if he gets the angles and stuff, if he contains them right. That could be opportunities for sacks if he tries to get out in the open. And then if they throw it in the middle, he can also uh, tackle pretty good bit too. I think this is a really good. I think this is a good matchup, especially for the Packers defense. So I think he's definitely going to rack up the points this week. So I am really excited to be starting him uh, next week.
All right.
And then I will give you my I will give you my one sit. And I went back and forth, and I was scavenging around through several players. But I think because I know they're getting they asked us a surprise too. There might be a surprise too, but I think you need to definitely sit Matthew Stafford next week because yes, they're going to get against the Tennessee Titans next week, and you're thinking, well, that defense is the greatest, but at the same time, I think that defense is a sneaky defense. On paper, yes, they might look bad, but once you get out on that field, they'll actually surprise you. So, and you know, because they can actually get to the quarterback if they really put their minds to it. So I would definitely be careful about that. Now, if you can pivot, if you have to start him, then start him. But if you can pivot into somebody else, I would prefer that you do that instead of playing Matthew Stafford because I think you can try to have somebody with a better matchup and play them instead. But if you have to play them. But I would definitely try to find another person to take his place for release next week.
I totally agree with you on that. I like them picks that you had, and also the one that you talked about sitting. So I'm like, that's really good. And I want to tell the fan base out there, look, guys, if you like the content, please hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe. And what do you always say?
Make sure you share because sharing is caring.
That's right.